Hey guys, welcome back. I'm FilthyRobot, continuing our D&D campaign. This is Session 2, Episode 3. Quick recap of Episode 2. We pathing through the forest, found some dead horses. We were suspicious there might be an ambush. We spent a large amount of time scouting the area, checking for enemies, climbing the cliffs on either side, sending the familiars out, and then we're ambushed by 4 goblins hiding in the bushes. We made our way out, we survived, and we discovered that our employers may or may not have, that the 2 dead horses belong to our employers, and we're now concerned that the goblins may have captured him or captured them earlier. So we're going to continue from there. We're on our way to the town still, hoping that our employers are there, but suspecting they might not be.
All right, cool. All right. So you guys were just sitting off again. Just leaving the goblin bodies in the middle of the road.
They match the decor with the dead horses, right?
All right, cool. So you guys do set off again. All in all, that took about an hour or so of your time. Yeah, and head back into the forest, and the cliffs, they fade again, and then again encroach upon the road. They get smaller, higher, and taller in height. And then they just disappear completely, and it's just forested area. And you start on an uphill incline. And at one point you reach a junction? No. A turn, I guess.
Crossroads?
There's crossroads, thank you. One going to the left, one going to the right. The one going to the right seemingly heading further up this hill, the one to the left seemingly sort of heading on the level.
But we don't actually know which one is to Alderbridge, do we?
You've got a map. You've got the map that you can see on your screen just now.
Okay, excellent. Then we continue on to Alderbridge.
Okay, so it would be the right-hand path, just continuing up the steady incline. And you can see, you get kind of above the tree line a little bit, and the forest to the north is like massive. Like it just goes as far as you guys can see, basically. And then straight ahead of you, you see the mountains, and from like this distance, like they're extremely, imposingly large. Like you feel quite dwarfed by them, quite amazed that they're this close but this tall as well at the same time. But you guys continue on. The wind picks up a little bit, and it does get a little bit cooler. And after about 5 or so hours of traveling, you guys do finally arrive in Alder Bridge. So let me move you there. And you guys are arriving from the north. Yeah, so this is, hang on one second. Wait, it's not just set on map? Oh, that explains some things. Cool.
Where were we supposed to meet these guys? What building?
Do you remember the name of it?
No, I feel like my character would, but I personally don't.
Any of you write it down?
I had cargo to Alderbridge. I had Gundrum, Sildar, and something maybe like Haldenwinter? I don't know.
Sildar Hallwinter is the character's name.
Oh, okay. So that's definitely not where we're meeting.
Yeah, that's the human. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So no, I don't remember where we're supposed to meet him.
Oh, wait.
Did we have a point?
Brown's Lodge.
Oh, yeah.
Is that it?
Nice.
Runway's Lodge was where you set off from.
Oh, crap.
How about your knowledge wizard? Maybe he should know something.
Let's check.
I am looking at my notes. Was I right?
There's no NPC wandering around with a little like yellow exclamation point on his head, or a question mark.
Question mark, yeah.
No, it's terrible.
Elma, Boston Provisions.
Very good. Yes, that is the location and NPC you're supposed to meet.
What was
Elmar
it?
Barthen.
Say it again?
Elmar Barthen in the shop. Barthen's
Elmar.
Provisions.
Okay, we're gonna head straight. What I say to the others, I think we should head straight there. Get this immediately worked on because this is time sensitive.
Yep, agreed.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
as you enter the town, it's actually quite quaint, and it's built of quite nice. The buildings are made of nice woods and thatched roofs and things like that. It was quite homely. And the second building you come to, I'll ping it on your map. So this one here, does indeed have the sign above, sort of written in ye old English style font. Barthen's Provisions is written above the door.
And Sally, as we come up to this town, it doesn't look deserted. There's people wandering around.
There's people wandering.
Okay, it's not like a dead town or anything.
Did we pass guards? I assume we did and just didn't care.
You haven't seen any guards yet.
Okay.
All right, we'll head straight there then.
Okay, cool. So you do so. Let me see, just 1 second. Okay. Okay, so you find a lean, balding human male shopkeeper. He's about 50 years old, with a particularly kindly face to him as well. And as you walk in through the door, he says, Yes, welcome all. What can I do for you?
What's your name?
My name is Elmar Barthen.
Elmar.
What is yours?
I am Olokian. I've just, sorry to be a bit curt. We come bearing potentially bad news, and we're hoping you can set our minds at peace here. We're in the employ of Gundrum and Sildar to bring supplies to your town after the damage that it suffered. And we were expecting to meet them here, but along the way we encountered I saw both their horses dead in the road, and I'm worried that they have not made it. Can you tell me if they've arrived? They should have arrived maybe a day or two before us? A couple days before us?
No, I'm afraid I was expecting them also, and they haven't arrived since. Seems that perhaps your fears are indeed justified. This is worrying news indeed.
That is bad news. Well, two things on my mind then. The first is, well, we have these provisions. Are we able to get them secured and taken care of? I don't know if they had arranged with you, or if they were gonna deal with you after we had dealt with them.
Yes, you can leave them with me just now. I'm afraid I'm unable to pay for them until Gundren and Sildar get here, but yes, you can leave them with me.
I wasn't concerned about the
destination.
The finances, just concerned that they stayed safe until we could interact with Gundrum and Sildar again. And the second is, I'm worried now that they're not here. We've seen their dead horses. We encountered some goblins along the way that tried to kill us, and they had some paper on them suggesting that they were sent to capture Gundrum and Sildar. Might there be someone in the town who knows the area particularly well? Maybe a hunter or a tracker or a guide of some sort that we could interact with, talk to, ask some questions of?
He sort of leans in over the counter and kind of like beckons you to come a little bit closer.
Which I do.
And he says, I don't say this too because you're new in town. Be careful with whom you talk to around town, particularly the ones who wear the red capes, the red half capes. They're not too fond of newer folk, and tend to they can take advantage of them sometimes, and yeah. So just be on the lookout of those ones particularly. They, however, if you're looking for someone who knows the wilds quite well, they would certainly be ones to talk to. There was also well, I suppose you could talk to Gorel. She might know as well. She did a good amount of adventuring some time ago. She tends to go out sometimes when she's not praying at the shrine over there. So I suppose you could try talking to her.
Out of character. How do you spell that?
Just spell it phonetically. It's not going to hurt you.
Except when you're trying to look for the character. Actual character.
Okay. So two things, Sally. The first, can I just insight check him as he tells me A, that he can hold on to my goods for me, and B, about these red cloak people.
And that he can't
what's
pay us.
what's your insight modifier?
1.
+1?
Yeah.
Okay. Seems trustworthy in both regards. Doesn't seem to be pulling the wool over your eyes in any manner.
I thank him. Appreciate the advice. Being new in town is always a little bit unfortunate. The locals are not friendly. I say, yeah. So, what does the red cape signify? What is it? A religious order, a military order? What is it?
Well, they appear to be just from out of town folk. They're not natives of the town itself, but they act as they like to pretend they're a protection of sorts of us. So more of a military order, I would say. A lot of them look like they've had some kind of military training at some point, or at least the very basics they know.
Do I also hear this whispering between Almar and Olokian?
I'll presume you guys huddling closely, and some of you are leaning back against the counter, just listening passively, looking out the windows and stuff.
Then I would also like to lean closer to Almar and ask, are they making any troubles in town, or what is wrong with them?
He looks like he's about to talk, and then kind of bites his tongue a little bit and says, and he doesn't say anything. He kind of goes to talk a couple of times and then hesitates and doesn't say anything.
I assume he's on a counter on the other side of the counter. Under the counter, I elbow Aust and just that's it.
Please, good sir, we can't help you if we don't know what the problem is. Surely you can give us a reason why you have warned us against them.
I'm not asking you to cause any trouble. Just don't get involved with them.
But for what reason are you worried of?
I'd really rather not say. The less that I say, the less likely I am to be taken advantage of. But roll me a persuasion check. And then he kind of bites his tongue a couple times and says, if you head over to the Stone Hill Inn, and when none of them are around, maybe some of the patrons there can fill you in on some of the details.
Do you know what they call themselves? I'm sure they call themselves by a name.
Again, that's something I'd rather not say. Again, perhaps something you can find out over.
What type of provisions does he stock? What do I see when I look around the store?
Foodstuffs mostly. Mundane items for the most part. Some basic trinkets and things like that. Is there anything you're looking for specifically?
It's not like leather. It doesn't do armor here.
It doesn't do armors, no.
Okay.
It would be somewhere else in town.
Okay.
We can't afford it yet anyways.
Well, it might have been able. If he had some, we might have been able to afford it.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. It's alright though. So I asked him. Well, we have our. I'm worried about the timing on our employers and our friends. And where can we put our cart, and where can we have our horses taken care of? Where should we do that? Can you recommend somewhere in town that they'll be safe while we're gone?
Well, you can leave it with me. The wagon and the horses are.
Oh, you'll take them here. I'm sorry, I thought you had a safe place
property.
Yeah, okay.
I have an arrangement with Sildar and Gundren, yes. And he kind of goes back into his louder voice. I had an arrangement with Sildar and Gundren regarding the horses and the wagon, so that was part and parcel of the deal.
Can you tell us more about Jarell? You said that Garel. You said that she's praying at the shrine. Is she a member of an order? Like a cleric of sorts?
She tends to the shrine, certainly. she's not formally a cleric of such, but certainly she is a religious person, a religious individual.
And where is this shrine in town?
Just going to restate, guys. The terms rogue, cleric, sorcerer are not official terms in the world. You do not like.
But surely, like things
he is clear.
Like wizard and cleric are probably official terms in this area. Like they are clerics, right?
They're magic users who are religious, but they can go by different names and things like that. So it's not necessarily a blanket term for all divine users.
Yeah, which is why I kind of said order.
Yeah, that's what I said too, like military order. Like that's a thing. I mean, there are military orders in our world. So.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Like that's it's just the class names, right? It's
Could you point us to the badass rogue in this town, if possible? That would be where we'd like to go next. The biggest, baddest rouge.
He just looks at you with a blank expression.
Not actually asking that. Sorry, never mind. Bad joke. Apparently.
I got it.
One more question.
I just don't rise to the occasion.
I see.
I would like to ask, you said that we should visit Stonehill Inn, was it?
Yes.
Which building is it, please? Can you tell us?
He kind of like points outside of the door and he points to this one here.
Okay, thank you.
And the shrine where Garel would be?
That one.
Excellent. Okay,
Well,
so Aust rolls his eyes and says, "Oh, it's just our luck that the guys that would pay us went and got themselves captured.
Yeah,
I suppose we should head on down to see Garel, though, if she can help us find them."
Aust, you're thinking about this all wrong. Think about it this way: the guys with the money needed an additional task from us.
Oh,
That's
this
an
is true.
additional
They will
paycheck.
have to pay extra.
Yeah, we could charge them whatever they like.
This is an opportunity in disguise. An adventure to be had with plenty of cash at the end.
Excellent.
That's all you wanted, Aust.
All right. However, we have some decisions to be made. I think we should definitely check out this find out this guide. But are we going to stay the night here? Or are we going to try to get back out there tonight? I know it's almost dark.
I
think we should
rest. Yes.
It just strikes me that if they were specifically being abducted, specifically targeted, the bad guys, the people who took them, don't have much of a reason to stay around in this area. If they was just to grab these people, they could go back to wherever they came from with our paycheck, and we might never see them again.
Yeah, I'm also surprised the goblins stayed there.
I mean, it might mean they are either stupid. There are goblins, and goblins are pretty fucking stupid. It might mean that they have a home base nearby, but it might just mean they're being opportunistic. But at the same time,
there must have been some reason why they weren't killed. Like there had to be some reason why they were captured, and so
did it say captured? I can't remember what it said now. I heard apprehend.
I thought it was captured and brought to some cave, or we don't know what's there.
Well,
so
let's assume we have more time now, because they might still be alive even if we wait like one more day.
All right.
Because if they wanted them dead, they would just kill them at the spot.
Exactly. For whatever reason they had to not kill them when they first encountered them, will hopefully last long enough for us to find them. So I think first off we should talk to the tracker to see if we can organize having her help us track down this cave or whatever.
Yes, perhaps also you could charm her into coming with us and see if, or at least give us some pointed directions to where we might start looking, because it's a big wilderness out there.
Terrifying.
That's right. That's right. You might need her help.
Before we leave, I turn to Elma and say, "Does the name Clark sound familiar?"
Says, "I'm sorry, one more time."
Clark.
That's a really good question, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm afraid not.
Can I insight check him?
Insight modifier is
1.
I would like to insight check as well, since I'm asking the question.
Modifier is
My modifier is, hang on. It's 3.
Okay. One, he seems to have
Same
no.
here.
He communicates that he has no idea who Clark is. He just like listens. He's like Clark. And as far as you guys can tell, for Olokian, he's difficult to get a read on. For Sinta, you seem fairly confident that he doesn't have a fucking clue who you're talking about.
Okay. Well, have you known Silda and Gundren for a long period of time?
Says, well, Gundren I've known for longer. Sildar I've met only a couple times, but he's a good man as a member of the Lord's Alliance. The Order of Regis. He's not the Lord's Alliance, Order of Regis. He says, but Gundren, yeah, he and his brothers would often come through here and head off into the mountains. They like to stay at the inn a couple times. I've seen them around a couple times for the last how long has it been now? It's been about 6 months now. I've seen quite a lot of them.
Have they ever mentioned them having trouble with a person or a place called Clark?
As I said, I have no idea.
Okay.
I've never.
All right. Maybe. Do you know of any reason why anyone would want to abduct them, capture or abduct them? Sorry, that answer.
Well, if the rumors are true about Sildar and him being a member of the Order Regis, the Order Regis have many enemies, so that could be a reason. Gundren, I don't know, he's a dwarf, bit of a funny accent, and I don't know,
Racism, you're saying?
doesn't seem like a reason to abduct anybody to me.
Is there a adventurers guild outpost in this town? Or
not formally as such. No. I suppose the best place to. What are you looking to do?
Just a contact that Gundren would have in this town, apart from you, for example.
Best place
That's part of the guild, I suppose. Or anyone from the Order, I guess.
There are no other members of the Order Regis in town. There's no full-on members, but I suppose you could go around asking at the inn if you would. It's probably the best place to gather information.
Okay. One last question.
Good.
We gathered
Sinta.
We gathered a couple of bows and scimitars and shields. Would you like to purchase them from us? You could smelt them down at some point.
I'm afraid weaponry is not really my thing, but if you check over at the Coster, they might be a little more interested.
The Coster, right.
That's it's that building over there on the other side of the square, and he points here.
Right. And they are blacksmith, I suppose. Or...
The blacksmith, he points over the road to this one here.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be back soon.
Yeah. Hopefully things are sorted with Gundren and Sildar.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks. I kind of, as we walk out, I mentioned to Aust, kind of like, did he just not seem that worried to you? Kind of nonchalant about the whole thing? Just me?
Who knows? I suppose from his point of view, if things go badly, then he just doesn't have to pay for the goods we just delivered him.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you guys want to do first? Shall we?
Oh, damn it! We should have gotten a receipt from him to say that all the goods are in order.
Right.
Yeah. If he steals from us, we'll deal with that, Sinta.
Right. So it's either at the inn to question locals or the shrine.
My vote is for the shrine. I say we acquire guide service first before we worry about anything else.
I would also like to visit the shrine.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay.
To the shrine.
Onward.
Roll me a religion check.
All of us, or
Yeah, all of us? Question mark.
William.
okay.
And sorry, Sinta, you can roll it as well. You have a reason to know this. So.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if I know like to which date it belongs.
Okay, yeah, great. So both of you do actually. The shrine, you see the symbol of Andra, which of Andra you both know is the deity of luck and good fortune.
I don't believe in luck. Only fate.
Roll a lot of dice for you not to believe in luck. Okay.
You literally make your own
With
luck.
all the misfortune
That's-
happening in here,
That's
I don't think they are lucky.
Okay, so you head towards this small but sort of like more old-fashioned than any of the other buildings that you've seen in this town. Mostly made of stonework and sort of masonry that's been etched with different symbologies for and dedicated towards Avandra. And you go into the town. You go into the shrine, and there's a female half-elf, about 5'10", sort of blonde hair, and she's currently tending to a patch of flowers which are growing inside the shrine. She doesn't notice you.
Excuse me, milady.
She turns her head and stands up and says, "Oh yes, hello, welcome all. What can I do for you?"
Your sister Garel, yes?
Yes, I am.
Hi, my name is Aust de la Tramaue. I have William and Olokian and Sinta with me. We are from the north. We are down here. We just delivered some goods to one of the local stores, but on our way down, we had some troubles. The people who we're working for were coming down as well before us, and on the way, they were captured by some goblins. We have reason to believe that these goblins brought them to a cave somewhere nearby, but we don't have any way of knowing where this cave is. And the local merchant said that you actually had some previous experience in tracking.
I see. Well, I'm most sorry for your friends, and I pray that they will be okay in the coming days. I do not have formal experience in tracking, but I am quite familiar with the woods. I travel them fairly often for procuring various herbs and other productions of nature. But so I'm afraid I won't be able to help you locating this cave. Not that I've never heard of something like that, but there are often packs of goblins which do roam the woods, looking for game among various other things. I myself have been able to evade them on occasions that I have happened upon them. If you're looking for goblins, some kind of home of sorts, perhaps finding a pack in the forest would do you well.
So short of finding some goblins in the forest, there isn't any caves that you're aware of in the area?
I'm afraid the forest is particularly vast, and who knows, there may be hundreds of cave systems. Isolating one among them, particularly knowing the location of which, goblins are quite known for well disguising their homes.
So you would recommend catching and forcing the information out of one of these goblins, you're saying?
If I were to try and locate these goblins' home, and I'm looking for a particular one, and perhaps that would be a good approach. Yes.
What do you guys think? I turn to the rest of the party. Do you think we should perhaps try to catch ourselves a goblin to interrogate?
One
Aust,
thing
buddy?
is to capture one or follow one when it's like going back. Yes.
Sister, is
Might
there
be
any
our best bet.
sister? Is there any place in particular where you are used to there being more goblins than usual?
Perhaps somewhere that you normally avoid just because of that, or where the townsfolk are suggested to avoid because of the extra danger. Somewhere we might have a higher than average chance of running into one of these little beasties.
Past the crossroads. I'm sure you saw it on the way, but there are a series of cliffs which encroach upon the road. The goblins are known and have a reputation for taking advantage of travelers on the roads. Perhaps around that area?
Thank you. Surprising that our employers never mention the known ambush spot for goblins on their route out here. I think we do know the area you recommended, though, sister. I really appreciate that.
More surprising than them not warning us is them being ambushed and actually taken because of it.
Perhaps it was just that your friends did not know.
Is this a recent thing, sister, that they've been doing this, or has this been of long standing?
No. It comes and goes at times. Sometimes the goblins aren't particularly familiar to me, but it depends on your luck for the most part. But I don't travel that way far south particularly often. These are just mostly rumors that I hear from people who travel into town.
Okay.
You said south, not north?
Sorry?
You said south, not north?
People traveling south?
Oh, I thought just now you said you don't usually travel south, implying
sorry,
to go out and pick out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sister, what would help you better identify the exact location? Do goblins have insignias and distinguishing features for each tribe or each pack? Would that help?
I'm sorry, I'm really no expert on goblins. I do not know their workings and etymology.
Sinta,
These are... Go ahead.
Yes.
Sinta, you drew the location. Could you maybe just show the sister the location that you sketched to see if that's the location that that she's referencing? It seems like it is, but I suppose visual confirmation would be nice.
You sketched the goblin, right?
Yeah, I sketched the goblins though.
Oh, just
I
the
didn't
goblin.
sketch-
I'm sorry. I thought
Not the
you-
background, just only like the dead
Oh,
bodies.
never mind.
But then again, I can try sketching it now. Maybe that.
No
will help.
need.
Yeah, don't encourage sketching.
Like I said, I mostly avoid goblins. I do not have a particular interest in them, other than not being seen by them. So,
Do you know of anyone in the town that is particularly good at tracking? Surely someone here must know how to hunt well.
if there is anyone, well, you may want to be careful whom you ask. A lot of the more hands-on types are part of the Red Brands, so be careful with asking that kind of information. But perhaps a chance of luck might see someone over at the inn. Perhaps fate will smile on you this day.
Sister, I don't understand. Why would we not want anyone to hear us asking this? What would be the danger in asking for a guide? I don't understand.
They're quite dangerous people, and they don't they don't take very nicely to newer people in the town. Trying to not get involved as best possible with them is one of the best pieces of advice I could give.
May I ask, like, what's the problem with these people? Why they are like that, like, unfriendly to everyone?
I don't know personally. It makes no sense to me. But they're known for shaking down certain of the businesses in town and taking advantage of some of the different people in the town as well.
How about you?
I am of no concern to them, so far I have been quite fine.
Can I roll to check if she's saying the truth?
What is your insight modifier?
0.
Straight roll. Okay. You kind of like scrutinize her, and you feel a lot of sympathy for her. She seems to be giving you fairly sage advice.
Okay.
Sounds like we should head to the Stonehill Inn.
Does it? Kind of sounds like we shouldn't to me.
Sounds like we should.
Wow.
Although there is,
we're gonna have this. We're gonna step outside, not have this conversation directly in front of her, but,
right,
but still privately amongst ourselves.
As they are walking out,
we
stay back.
I would still like to stay for a little while. I want to ask something, but you can leave meanwhile.
Okay.
Yeah, I would stay as well.
Alice, can I talk to you outside for a minute? Do you mind?
Mm-hmm. And so we go outside. So there's a good reason why we actually should be careful and maybe even rest outside of town before going to the inn.
That's what I'm saying. I'm almost saying that we shouldn't go to this inn if
the inn is where the trouble's at. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we still have to go to the inn to try and see if. Well, I mean, how are we going to find this cave?
She didn't know anyone in town.
Just going to randomly.
She didn't know anyone in town who could find this thing, and said essentially maybe one of the Redburns could, but the Redburns aren't going to like you. So what is how do we transition from? How do we convince someone to do that? Oh, Redbrand, not Redburn. Excuse me. So
I wrote burn also.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like if we're outsiders, they pick on outsiders to begin with. We're gonna walk in. We're gonna either end up paying them some money, probably more than we have, end up hurting, or end up killing someone. And all of those outcomes are kind of bad news for us. We don't need to stay in an inn. We've already dumped our goods. We could just head back out, camp somewhere, and then head back out to that area tomorrow morning. I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea of picking up someone to help with the tracking, but I'm not sure we're going to find that in town. We've asked now two townsfolk who had no idea of anyone who fit that description. The best they could give us was maybe these bullies, maybe this militarized bully group could do part of that. I have the same problem. I have the same problem you did. That's why I didn't insist while we were at that location. I'm not sure how we find a hidden cave in the forest from there, but I mean, maybe perhaps we can.
I guess we could set up camp at the horses and wait for more goblins to show up.
Exactly. We could not probably not as overt as that, but we could set up some sort of trap to try to lure some goblins in. Yeah. Do we want to talk to Sinta and William about this and see if they have any suggestions?
Yes.
All right.
And I assume that as Aust and Olokian are having this conversation, then the two of them are having a conversation with her inside. So that portion.
Okay. I would like to ask, sorry, out of character, what kind of relationship have Avandra and Bahamut deities between themselves? It's like
good for the most part. They're both good deities. Avandra is more chaotic good. Bahamut is very much for good. But they're both on the good spectrum.
Okay, sister, so then it's like question out of business. Would you be so fortunate to have some spare holy water in here?
I'm afraid spare holy water is not something that I have. I do have supplies of holy water. if that's something you're looking to procure, but it's not cheap to make, I'm afraid. So I'm sorry, but it would need to be purchased.
Oh, maybe purchase. How much it would cost? If you have like.
1 second. It says, one flask of holy water is 25 gold pieces.
25.
We're kind of poor.
I'm sorry, but it's like I'm not that rich at the moment to like pay
We only
this
have 10
much.
copper pieces.
But maybe in the future, if we will like visit again in here, I might. Thank you. And Sinta, do you have some more questions, or why did you stay?
Yes, sister. And I point to my robes. I am a scholar of the Grand Liberium in Peru, and my dissertation's on fate, actually. And I noticed that you mentioned fate just now in your blessing for us. So, actually, I'd just like to know more about your deity, and if you can, to maybe give me some books or something, or scrolls or something to read to learn more about your deity.
What time is it right now, Solitaire?
During the day?
Yeah.
It's about 6 p.m.
Okay.
And it says, well, Abandra is the weaver of all of our fate. She is the one who makes the tapestry upon which we all ply our lives. She must be worshipped if you're to be favored in your life, and if it were not so, then afraid some perhaps the less lucky among us should look to Avandra for further favor. I'm afraid I do not have any books or scrolls about her. For the most, the gods were real once on a time. However, nowadays we simply worship and do what we can.
I see. Perhaps I could spend more time with you at a later date to learn more about your practices.
Again, for the most part, my religious practice is through prayer, not through text. If that is something you're interested in, you're more than welcome to.
Sure.
Pray at the feet of Lady Avandra.
Yes, I guess from prayer we can try to derive some form of principle or some principle that we could derive at some point in time. But yes.
I'm not sure of the words you speak, but your intent seems to be pure.
Yes, but now I think we do have some business to attend to, and we'll make our way back at a later date.
Avandra be with you.
And I give a...
It's okay. Meanwhile, William was looking through his money, and he just want to ask sister again. Well, since we are all like both deity followers, as you can see on my amulet crest that I'm like revering the Bahamut deity, can I ask if you would be so kind to make some kind of discount for that holy water, maybe in good faith?
Roll me a persuasion check. With advantage. You make a good case.
Okay.
Says, I had not noticed you're a follower of Bahamut. That is very well, holy warrior. I'm pained to do this, but I suppose I could offer some small measure of discount for you. But I really could not offer holy water to you for less than 20 gold pieces.
I'm afraid that won't cut it.
And if your speech about having only 10 copper pieces is true, that will most certainly not suffice.
Well, I have
more
some
than that
gold
to produce
pieces,
the
but
water itself.
20 is still too much, at least for me.
The holy water shall not be going anywhere.
Okay, well, I tried, thank you.
All right, cool.
All right, so you guys back outside with us now?
And as you guys are kind of walking, and she says, Paladin of Bahamut.
What, sorry?
Paladin of Bahamut.
Pardon, yeah.
So you turn back to her and says, may I have your name, sir?
My name is William.
William. Perhaps if you were to speak to my father, he might know something of a cave or two. He's not a tracker, and he is quite elderly, so I'm not sure how much assistance he might be, but worth inquiring about?
Sorry, I didn't understand the last part.
It might be worth inquiring.
Oh, it might
be worth looking into.
Okay, thank you. What's his name, please?
His name is Darren Edermoth.
Can you please write it down? Okay, thank you. And like, I don't think he's living in here. Can you please point out where could I find him?
Yes, he tends to the orchard behind the shrine at the east western edge of town.
Okay, thank you. I might ask him.
For some holy water.
Okay. So you guys head on outside?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Okay, so because Aust didn't hear the whole thing about Darren, Aust says, all right, listen, guys. So this inn might not be the best place to go. It might be rather hostile. So instead, maybe we stay at the... Crap, I forget his name. The dude that we met, that we were just talking to before her.
Elmar Barth.
Elmar, yeah. How about we stay the night at Elmar's place before we go looking for our employers?
I strongly object. I think we need to get out of this town tonight. Doesn't have to be far. Just camp out. We've been camping out the last couple of nights. I know I'd love a bed in an inn too, but I think we're gonna run into trouble. I mean, does anyone else have? I mean, Aust, do you have other reasoning for why you'd want to stay in town? Like we run the risk of running into somebody.
Just so that we don't have to sleep on bedrolls again.
The noble upbringing rears its head. I hear you, mate. I hear you, my friend. I'd like that too, but.
I'm just going to point out that I got a proposition from Sister Geralt that
she propositioned you?
Not that kind of proposition. That I.
Sir William, she was very fine. That's wonderful news.
Again, not that kind of proposition.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But she told me that we could ask Darren Edermoth, her father, with some question maybe about he might know more about like the red brand or the cave or like what we are looking for. If we don't want to ask in the inn.
Okay, then she told you where that is.
Before we leave, if you are fine with that.
Yeah, that would be excellent. If we could get some news of where we're going, that would be great. Maybe he'll have a goblin we can ask.
Okay, so
I regret nothing.
As you guys sort of loop around the shrine to head towards the orchard.
Before you say quite anything else, we're going to try to stay away from the inn or that center of town as much as possible.
Yep.
Okay, well, you need to still walk across the center of town in order to get around. You see 3 human guys. They're various sizes, between 5.5 and 6 feet tall. And they're wearing leather armor with red sleeves and red half capes. kind of like this.
Would you consider that
and
padded
they're all
leather
kind of...
armor?
Sorry, what?
Would you consider that padded leather armor, or what?
It might be. They're walking across the town, and one of them is kind of like his eyes kind of like darting about the place. Two of them in deep conversation to each other, and they walk from this excuse me. From what is that not measuring? Was it because this is so? Yeah, they kind of like walk over in this direction and then down here. As you guys are kind of like standing in the center of town.
Where in the circular area with the flower thing?
So you're like here.
Okay.
You're outside the shrine. And yeah, these guys walk over here, and the one who's kind of like looking about, and he locks eyes with the four of you, and looks at you for a couple of seconds, continues walking, and then the three of them round the corner and head down that street there.
Right. I immediately turn to the group. We all saw this. It's not like we need to perception check this. We locked eyes. We saw him.
He saw you, definitely. I'll say you saw it, Olokian.
Okay. I'm going to tell him we just got spotted. Guy in a leather and red just made long eye contact with me, looked us over. Could be hitting on me, but I bet you he's a part of the red brand. We might want to consider leaving town right now. Or perhaps getting inside of Mr. Etterworth's, what's his name? Ettermath's location. Guys,
Let's go to the orchard.
Yeah. We're going to set off at quite a brisk pace if possible, Solitaire.
Can we wait until we're not, for sure not in eyesight of these three guys and then go off to the orchard so that they don't know what direction we went?
Sure, roll me a perception check.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You wait until they're gone, and then you're not really sure if you can be seen, so you just wait that little extra time, and then you head on round, looping around the shrine, and then heading towards the orchard.
Excellent.
All right. Cool. Good place to take a break, I guess.
All right. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.